You so messy. He-
Oh, look at it. Whoa!
We can talk a lot of shift, but we can back it up.
Boy, you scared me. You scared
You
me.
talk a lot of shift.
There it is.
I gotta pronounce it so you don't think I'm on here, bleepering.
Right,
But
right.
we can back it up.
I don't understand what's happening here. But anyway, for those of you who are already joining us, this
Yeah.
is Shift Real Talk Podcast, where we talk real talk about love, life, and relationships. So today we're going to get into a subject that a lot of people, I had some people say, oh, y'all finna step on some toes tonight. But we just going to keep it funky. We're going to keep it raw. We're going to keep it real, and we're going to tell the truth. And the topic is our children are watching. They not listening. They watching what you do. Some parents say, do as I say and not as I do. But today, we're going to dispel that myth. I'm your girl, Lady Free.
And I am your boy, Pastor J.
And we are coming to you from
Yeah.
Sacred Stone Studio.
Studio.
And this is how we
Studio.
finna run it. All right, so we talking about our children today. And if anybody know me, they know this is my platform.
Well,
Children.
I guess what prompted this conversation too, because man, I am really sick of seeing how a lot of our kids today, they're beating up their grandmothers, they're killing first of all, how I know at 18 in some states now, not in all states, at 18 you have the right to bear arms. But I mean, there should be a level of control with that, because these kids are using it to kill and explain or exuberate their anger through using guns. So seeing a lot of these kids who are, I heard a story where the kid beat up his grandmother, or I don't know if he killed her or not, but I know they said he beat her up because she did not want him to smoke marijuana in the house. Am I telling? Is that the story?
That's the story we heard. Yeah,
That's the story we
the
heard.
story we heard.
That's ridiculous.
And not to mention a lot of the kids that are out here today. We keep saying, "Oh, something wrong with these kids today. The kids today. The kids today." But what we don't realize, the kids today have been watching
Yes.
and learning. But who have they been watching?
Who, and not just who, but what
What?
have they been
That
watching?
is the truth.
Because I realize, and then we're gonna talk from this. We're gonna start off from this, y'all.
Yeah.
Broken parents raise confused children.
Wow.
Broken parents raise confused children. And it's because here we go, like, we understand that environment, that's one thing that raises our kids. It's not just what they see, but it's the environment. And sometimes what we've been through, we can set an environment of insecurity, an environment of unsafety, an environment of abandonment, an environment, and because these are the some things that we go through. So that environment is set in front of our kids. So this is what the kids are looking at. And because remember this, communication, there's a level of, and we'll get later on when we talk about how kids silently communicate, saying through body languages and through tantrum throwing and all that stuff. That's a level of communication. But before we get there, there is a way that this environment, it affects how kids respond, and it affects and it reflects on how they come, how they deal with stuff because of this environment that they are being raised in. And because we are going through stuff ourselves, we are protecting our kids in a way where we don't even allow them to learn how to express themselves, because we have to protect and we got to do everything for them because we don't want them to make that mistake, and we don't want them to go through those things that we've gone through, in what we went through as kids. You know what I'm saying? So
Because of how it hurt us. We don't want our
Yeah,
children
yeah.
to feel any kind of hurt, pain. But what we don't realize was the struggle is what built us. The struggle is
Ooh.
what gave us that lesson. It's some of the things that we go through that we mess up on, and then we keep
Yeah.
trying it and we mess up again under, listen to this, under the right authority. Like as parents, your children should be able to make mistakes and know that you're going to be that person to come and lift them up, encourage them to do better, and keep it moving. But what we do is we try to guard them from what we went through. So we do extremes. My parents whooped me, so I'm not going to ever whoop my kids.
yeah. They
Or
with me.
my parents beat me, so shoot, I got beat, you going to get beat, but worse. Instead of finding the balance, there's a place in the middle where we could teach our children so that they could grow up and learn from what we learned, what we went through, and keep it going forward. But what we do is we still want to be out and about doing whatever. And because we, like you said, broken parents raise confused kids, because we have not sat
That's
in
right.
our healing. Because we have not sat in our brokenness and faced our healing. How about that? What we have done was we've ignored it. We haven't acknowledged it. Some of us do, but at the same time, some of us act like there's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. And
Man.
we raise our kids in my I'm good.
That's right.
And everybody see it but you.
Hey Patricia, how you doing today, girl? We love you. Yeah, and it's so true, because remember this. That we let off a level of confusion because there is the instability, the emotional instability, the physical confusement.
There your word, confusement.
Yeah, there's a level of confusement that because of this emotional instability. So when we are putting this emotion and this communication off on our kids, what happens is they become unstable in their emotions. They become unstable in their stability. They become unstable even in their identity. Because remember, the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, so when they get old, they won't depart from it. So the training is not only instruction, but the training is demonstration. The training is living it. The training is information. The training is showing. The training is living. It's not just just giving them instruction. So when they're not, because what happens is sometimes we don't give them the instruction that we need to give them, because of we feel like this is gonna hurt them, because my mother used to tell me a lot, son, this, she didn't want to chastise me sometimes because she felt like this gonna hurt me more than it hurt you. And I'm like, huh? I used to always think, we talked about it before, how's it gonna hurt you when I'm the one that's getting
it, and it does hurt.
And it does hurt. But remember this, in this level of confusion, because the Bible says that God is not the author of confusion. So if we're bringing our kids to a level of confusion, then it's almost like we're leaving God out of it, because we're not giving them the instruction that needs. We're not giving the chastisement that needs to be given. We're giving emotion. We're giving insecurity, because that insecurity takes precedent over teaching them what security is.
All right, let's go back to your statement when you said broken parents raise confused kids.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, because there are some
up, Dad?
characteristics that children see in their parents, and the children know something is wrong.
Absolutely.
The children feel the brokenness.
Yes,
the
they do.
brokenness comes out in anger, anger towards the child, anger towards the father, anger about the fact that you don't have an option. As a mother, we have to take care of our children. The father, now some mothers are mad because the father got an option to opt out.
Yeah.
He got an opportunity to go and do what he want to do and come as he pleases.
Absolutely.
Where she has to stay and be a constant in that child's life. So a lot of the brokenness comes out in abandonment, like you said. So now some parents are really clingy to their kids. They want to be their children's best friend because their parents wasn't there for them. So now they're going to be super like cool with their children. But the children are crying out for discipline. The children are crying out for someone to give them structure and leadership and guidance. But instead, we are allowing those broken pieces. Now think about that. Those broken pieces to raise our children.
That's right. Hey, let me give a couple of shout outs. We got a couple of people tuning in. My sister Letitia's on.
Hey, Tease.
Eugene Level, God bless you.
Hey.
Justina Freeman, hey, how are you?
Justina.
Thank you for tuning in. Josh Brooks, what's up, bro? So here's another point that I want to bring out. It says, are we raising our kids or are we managing them?
Okay, explain that to me a little bit better.
Cool. I'm glad you asked.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, eh?
Managing looks like control. Be quiet. Quick punishment with no explanation. Mm-hmm. I'm going, so we continuously punish them and punish them. Now I'm a stickler for punishment. Now I will say that I'm an old school parent, so I'm
right.
I'm that dude that you get it where you do it at. You know what I'm saying? If you acting up in school, you're gonna get it in school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But without that explanation, that's still a level of control. You know what I'm saying? And here we go.
Well, wait. What do you mean by that? Because as a parent,
because you're focusing on the behavior and not understanding where the behavior is coming from.
Okay, let's stop there. Let's park there because it's a lot of meat in that.
Yeah.
All right, so basically, the thing of just punishing the child.
Yes.
The child know what he or she did though.
The child know what he or she did, absolutely. But the reason, again, is we don't deal with the reason.
Gotcha.
We don't deal with the reason why he or she did what they did. We only deal with the behavior and not understand, because raising them for tomorrow is understanding the behavior. But if you control and manage them now, what you do, because a lot of times we don't even want to deal with what's coming. We got to deal with it right now so we don't have to deal with it later. But that doesn't help the kid. That doesn't help the child. So we must focus on why this is done. Why? Because remember, some kids, they communicate through behavior.
Right.
Because they've been shut down.
And it's so interesting that you said that, because so many people don't want to dig into the why.
They don't want to dig into the why.
You got to dig down deep to get to the why. A lot of people, the why don't matter. All I know is what you did, and a lot of times what you did, you embarrassed me. Don't go out here and embarrass me.
Yeah.
So it
Absolutely.
becomes about how you're making me feel as a parent. So instead of me understanding your behavior, like you said, so we can raise a generation for later, what we do is we deal with what they did today and only what they did, but not why they did what they did.
Yeah, because what happens is, because sometimes, like I said, when you focus on the behavior and you don't deal with what the kid did, what the why is, then you shut down the expression.
Okay.
You shut down the expression. You shut down the communication.
Right.
Because it's no, hush. Do what I say. I said be quiet. I said you did this and you're going to get punished for this. And it's like, well, I was feeling a kind of, I was upset. I was, and we don't deal with their emotions and allow them to express themselves. I remember you was telling me that, when, not to put your business out there, but I remember how you used to tell me how, when you got in trouble, you got in trouble for sometimes certain things that you didn't do, but you had to hush. You couldn't explain. You couldn't even give your side because it was like, well, Daddy, you know what I'm saying? Hush. All right, now I said be quiet now, and it's like, well, wait a minute now. You're not even. I said be quiet.
You ain't finna make my daddy look like that.
I mean,
but what it was I'm a wild child.
Hey, Tony.
And a lot of times I would get in trouble for asking like why, or because my thing was help me understand what it is that you're trying to get me to do.
Yeah, help me understand.
So I could better do it. I'm a why person.
That's
with
it.
that being said, sometimes my why came out and it sounded to my parents like disrespect, because my parents old school parents. And so it was more of a do what I said because I said so. And for me, it would have helped me do the job better if I understood more about, okay, what am I trying to, what are we trying to accomplish here? What's the goal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah, yeah.
basically what it was. But people don't want to get down to that because first of all, I haven't even dealt with my own stuff.
I'm from the school that, like I said, I'm popping.
Bae.
I'm sorry.
Baby. Okay, so everybody, this is something that we being transparent. This is real talk. We working on this. I say some good points. And Pastor J have something in his head and he's already geared up and ready to say it. So instead of coming into the conversation that I'm having with him, he'll hear what I have to say barely, as the lady said, barely, and then he'll go boom and go into his thought. But we gonna work on that tonight.
See how she nicely did that? In other words, she told me I ain't finished. Hush while I'm.
No,
she
it's
just
not
did that
even.
real
It's
nicely.
not a hush. It's
cool.
it's a babe.
My dad said that was my mom. Your mom was like, grandma was like that. Wow. I mean, it
Old
was like
school.
old school. But
Yeah.
but I don't get it because the Bible said that. I'm gonna read the scripture. It said discipline is not always easy, but it produces righteousness.
I agree. But,
So no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
but
Go ahead, what you
people, when you discipline, you have to discipline when you're not mad. You can't discipline a child when you're mad at them. You have to discipline them in a place.
Well, why do you have to be mad at them and not mad at because with me it's a catch-22. Because I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at that I told you not to do this and you're still doing it.
But you're talking about you. We are talking about parents who do this. A lot of parents, when they finally, because today, parents will give a lot of 5, 4, 3, the countdown. Or they'll do.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. What?
Yeah.
5. What?
All
What
right,
is that?
all right. You better get 5.
What?
4, yeah.
What? That? Oh, like a bomb is about to go off. Like really?
But see the thing that's one of the tactics in the books.
Yes.
That we read through so we can figure out how to parent. But the Word of God don't say do that. The thing is, we give them so much leeway. We give them so much rope to hang themselves. And then we get mad at them when they hang themselves with the rope. So now we're mad. Now you just overdid it. And now you gonna get it. And a lot of times when you discipline a child out of the anger because they didn't do what you said over and over because you said it 5 or 6 times, now you come in with some force. And that is when people get into other areas outside of healthy discipline.
So with that being said, Tony said that's good. Call a spade a spade. That's right. Tony, we miss you, girl. We gotta talk after this. But anyway, instead of asking what's wrong, I think our job is to find out, because sometimes, we think, what's wrong with you? What, did I say, so we don't even understand what's going on. So I think we need to understand the behavior. And I got some things here. Behavior, remember this, behavior is communication, 1. So if a child is acting out, even though I don't agree with that, even though I do, if you act out, ooh, you gonna get it. There ain't no countdown, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop acting out. You know what I'm saying? Because I deal with it a lot. You know what I'm saying? I have a barbershop, and I see kids, they don't want to sit down and just learn how to get groomed. But again, remember this: if there's an act out, there is a cry for attention. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a cry for something. It's deeper than. And I'm learning it because trust me. This is something that I'm learning. This is news for me because I'm old school. You acting up, I'm tearing your tail up. But at the end of the day, maybe we was on the phone the whole time we was with our kid. And the kid is feeling, because remember, as parents, we create the love language at an early age with the kids.
Attachment.
Yeah, we create the love language because there are love languages or connections that we speak through the way we give our kids attention, the way we give them love. So if they acting out, they're desiring attention. Sometimes they become clingy because they don't feel safe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if they're always under you, I remember this. I remember I wanted to stay. My mom used to take me to Jersey, and I didn't want to stay. So because I thought that they were gonna leave me, I would stay under them to make sure that when they leave, I was leaving too. And how they would distract me was they would send me to get something from the store that I wanted.
Yeah.
And because I wanted to go to the store, but when I came back, they were gone. I was like, hold on. I don't want to stay.
Yeah.
They were gone. So I had to deal with that, not knowing that they were really intending to drop me off. And I was going to spend some time in a place that I didn't want to stay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to stay there. So a lot of times kids are clingy. They want to stay up under you because this is just that level of protection, that level of feeling safe. You know what I'm saying? So with that, and a lot of times when they're hurt or they're expressing a level of, and they're crying so much and they're hurt, you know, like I felt like when they left me, abandonment. You know what I'm saying? You know, that brings on emotional, like, you hurt me. But again, remember, this behavior is shaped as a kid. I see some grown-ups who go through this. You know what I'm saying? So when they're explaining or expressing these type of behaviors, it's because they dealt with it as a child.
Or they didn't deal with it
or they
as a
didn't.
child.
Well, yeah, same thing.
They learn how to cope with it. They learn how to live in that environment.
Absolutely.
And now as they're older, nobody took the time to help them understand bad behavior.
Yes.
But as an adult, it's harder to help you understand, okay, that's bad behavior because I'm used to being like this, and how you gonna tell me that what I'm doing is wrong? And then a lot of times, because adults don't want to
No, I'm sorry.
see, you see,
I'm sorry. Go.
this is what I deal with.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What,
All right.
what we laughing
No,
about?
no,
I want to laugh
at,
too.
I was laughing at a comment. Justina said, old school parents didn't allow themselves time to regulate their emotions. It was straight BTA. Belt to...
And you know what? A lot of that needs to come back, but
Oh, I
not
believe now.
not those who don't regulate. I'm not talking about that, but a lot of that getting a whooping. We act like that's the horrible thing. We act like that's the end all be all. We act like that's the worst, but we have to understand there was some people that was doing it to the point where it was unhealthy. Those were the people that messed it up for everybody else being able to discipline their kids the way they need to. So now what are we doing? We are watching kids on airplanes, acting up, and we not saying nothing because you can't say anything to people's kids anymore.
Absolutely.
And then we talking under our breath, or we making little subliminal messages out loud so that the parent probably get the hint that, hey, you need to sit your kids down because I'm trying to sleep and I paid for this flight, and that child is being a nuisance. We can't even do anything with kids anymore because somebody flipped the script on us. This is my soapbox. Back in the day, Big Mama raised the people in the kids in the big house, in the house, while other people was out in their picking cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mama did that. She raised the children, and half of those children had respect. Half of those children had, they knew when to be quiet. They were being raised, right?
Yeah.
Then somewhere along the line, and this is just me, Lady Free, somewhere along the line,
Kicking bars.
they started saying we need to parent our kids like they do. And you see where we at?
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are. We're starting to give them time out, the peace table, talking to them. Okay, gentle parenting. That is not a real thing. Where did people get this from? Gentle parenting. No, parenting is parenting. Parenting is guidance. Parenting is leadership. Parenting is sometimes saying no. Parenting is giving them that mama look and saying, look, now I done told you. You know, your parent used to be in the choir stand while you sitting in the pews, and she used to be able to sing on key and give you a look to let you know you better sit down right now before I come out this stand and come get you. We knew what to do.
Yeah.
It was not even a whole bunch of questions, a whole bunch of nothing. But now the kids will look right back at you and like, and... You know, it's the disrespect that we've allowed to get brought into this because we didn't deal with our own mess. We don't even sometimes realize we have mess. And so now we raising our kids, and ain't nobody finna talk to my baby. Nobody better not say this and nobody better not say that, but why not?
So here's the thing. Let me read a couple of Patricia. She said, "I'm so glad that I had children, as y'all will say, back in the days and not now. Like children controlling everything in our world today. So disrespectful. I totally agree. No one wants to test a child because he may be called by the officer or they may call the police and
Right.
hands are tired. No,
Y'all
no.
see the fear that parents have
No.
about raising their
Ain't
own
no-
children?
You call the cops on me. I'm gonna beat you up in front of the cops.
Well, good thing all your babies grown. The thing,
I did that when they were little.
We- yeah,
I did
but
it in
but
front
see,
of the cops.
but now we're not talking about then. Now, it's so much
Thank you,
fear
Justine.
in raising your own children. Let me tell you something. I carried this baby for 9 months in my body. I went through all kind of different things that were so different. I almost gave my life up to bring a baby into this world, and now everybody else gets to tell me how to raise my child. I can't discipline my child in a way that's not abusive, but at the same time it gets the point across. You mean to tell me
look
I
at-
can't do that?
Well, look at the difference. Now, look at the difference. Back in the day, there was a difference in the parenting because back in the days, the struggle was different back then. Parents was like, look, I'm doing what I can to provide. If you don't like it, you go ahead and when you able to go out and provide, then you be able to do that. But until then, you gonna eat what we got on the table, and that's just that. And it was no care. It was no look.
Either you eat or you
Either
go to
you
your
eat
room and
or
go
you
to
go
sleep
to your
hungry.
room and you go to sleep hungry
Right.
or whatever. It was none of that.
Right.
But today, it's like parents are trying to be so perfect because they grew up without. They don't want their kids to be without, so they're trying to portray a level of being perfect. And kids don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be present.
They need you to be available.
They need you to be available. They
Yeah.
need you to be there.
And they need you to discipline them. They want discipline. They're not going to say discipline me, but they need it. That's why they go to the military. That's why they get involved in different groups, sororities, fraternities, or whatever, because there is discipline, there is structure there. They want it so bad and they need it, but we're not giving it to them because we don't want them to, we don't want this and we don't want that. It's like, come on. We have to do better. And if you can get a lot of parents into one room and turn off all the mics, no phones, and ask them for real how they feel about raising their kids, you'll hear a lot of parents with a lot of fears. You'll hear a lot of parents with a lot of apprehensions. No, I can't do that because if I do this, then this will happen to me. If I discipline my child like that, if I whoop my child, he high yellow, honey. And if I whoop him and he go to school with a welt on his leg, the teacher gonna be calling now, CPS gonna be at my house. And it's like you have to go through all of these different things.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the parents who are really parenting. I'm not talking about
guess-
the other people who are
I guess
doing the wrong stuff.
I guess my wife, she says, I take it from her, but she does it to me too.
What I do, babe?
She just snatch it, don't let me.
Oh, that's not what I was saying.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the same thing you were saying. Today we're working on being able to allow.
See,
the
this
thoughts
is
to be,
this is parenting. This is his upbringing. This is no, I'm playing. I'm playing.
I get it.
Mama
I
did.
get it.
Mama did a great job raising you.
So, hey, Hilda Williams, thank you so much for tuning in with us. Justina said this is a great conversation. Thank you so much. They need structure. That's right. And that permissive parenting does a grand disservice. It makes them so entitled. It sure does, Justina.
And you know what's happening today?
What?
Especially on social media, people are doing little social media experiments on gentle parenting, and they'll do that little come here, and then next thing you know they'll say I said, and they fuss and cuss, and the kid jump and do what they say. That is a horrible example.
Look at this.
Wait.
Okay.
I hadn't finished. That is a horrible example well, actually it's a great example of what gentle parenting does, but it's a horrible example of how to back that gentleness up with something. It don't have to be the cuss and the fuss. That's what's happening though in the homes. If that gentle parenting don't work and you finally get fed up and then you combust, that's what's really happening. But who teaching the balance?
Yes.
There's a middle ground, people. There's a middle ground.
Hey, Mama Cheeks, how you doing?
Hey, Mama Cheeks.
She said the most important thing about parenting is to know that each child has different needs.
Absolutely.
And that calls for different methods of discipline also. But all in all, they need discipline, godly discipline. They need
godly discipline.
And the word says that even though it may be hard, but it brings righteousness.
Yes.
So you must discipline your kids. You must.
Godly discipline.
And the thing is, man, I believe we do confuse them, because the thing is, if we allow them to continue to communicate through their behaviors, there's a catch-22 with it, because then that behavior controls how the narrative go, and now the behavior is ruling the situation instead of you as the parent. Mm-hmm. So in other words, if you allowing this behavior and you're coddling the behavior instead of understanding it and speaking and say, hey, this is not what you do.
Right.
And now one thing I like to do, one thing I did do, I spoke one time. I wasn't speaking I wasn't doing no 1, 2, 3, ABC, 5, 6, ABC, 1, 2, 3, baby, you. I didn't do none of that. It wasn't no countdown. It was, I said, don't do that. And the next time I had to talk, you was, that my dad taught me about this right hook. That hook and that boom. And the next time, but they understand that. And it was like, okay, you know why you had to get that? Because when I'm telling you to do something, and the thing is, it works because I lost my thought. Here's the example. A lot of times, especially our young men, for some reason, if there's not discipline, then some of them manipulate the system because they're getting away with untamed or untaught behavior. So in other words, like I said, young men will commit crime. And I don't like jails, and I don't like to see our young men going to jails. But sometimes the only way that certain people learn is if there is a consequence behind what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes going to jail, it now you come out, you know what, I ain't doing this no more because I know what it did.
The consequence.
I know the consequence. So consequences are important, because what it does is it teaches the behavior. It teaches what you shouldn't do. It teaches the right from wrong.
Right.
And then it says now, it lets them know that it makes them think twice. Okay, well, I better not do this, because if I do this, I'm going to get in trouble. If I do this, I'm going to lose this.
Right.
If I do that, I ain't going to have this no more.
Right.
And I can't afford not to have this no more. So there has to be a level of consequence.
It does. And regardless of what, you training your child up in the way they should go.
Yes.
People think that just because they not doing, I want my child to do this. Either way, we training these children up in the way they should go. Either we training them about bad behavior works. Either we training them about narcissistic behaviors work. Manipulation works. Mm-hmm. Or we training them that these things, if you do this, this is going to happen. If you do this, this is going to happen. This is the consequence. This is the reward. We are training our children either way, whether we training them good or whether we training them in a negative way. Kids are being trained. And I thought about something when we were talking. Do you know that a lot of times children aren't necessarily, I wouldn't say bipolar as much as I would say they just mimicking behavior? Because one minute you was cool and 1 minute you was okay.
Exactly.
And the very next minute something triggered you and you went from 0 to 100 just like that. So they're mimicking that behavior that they saw you do all their life, and now they're adults.
Exactly.
And they have they have no other thing to measure it with. So that's what they know to do.
Let me piggyback on that, because that is so true. What behavior in your child reflects you? And
you better be honest.
What behavior in your child reflects you? Mm-hmm. Because again, remember, they watch.
Yep.
They are watching. So what we need to find out, what did I do to make them act the way they're acting. Because remember, we're teaching them their identity.
Right.
We're teaching them their level of independence.
Yeah.
We're teaching them, this is what we're supposed to do. We're teaching them their level of communicating.
Right.
We're teaching them that they have their process. Their process is not your process.
Right.
Their pain should not be your pain.
Come on.
Their confusion should not be your confusion. Their hurt should not be your hurt.
Yeah.
But if they're mimicking or their behavior is reflecting you, then you got to say, dang, what did I do in front of?
Or what can I do to correct the behavior that they saw me mimic? How about this? I hear you saying, oh no, they act like they daddy. Well, how about this? If you notice that they acting like someone that you feel like is not acting correctly, then correct it in them. Don't just say, oh honey, you act just like your daddy and be mad. You need to correct it in them and say, hey, when your father did this, and I know that you picked that up over there, but this is what I need you to understand about that. And correct it, because if you love your child, you would not want your child to do the same things that you saw their father do. Instead of just getting mad at the child, hey, the child didn't pick the father, you did.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this, and this is real talk. My baby mama.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say it, but this is something that.
Be gentle.
Oh, I'm being gentle.
Okay.
She would always call my son a liar. You're a liar. Mm-hmm. You're a liar. Mm-hmm. You're a liar. And then, because remember this, our words have power.
Very much so.
They have power.
Yeah.
So me looking at it now and understanding that, it's like, okay, what was it about you that he felt that he had to? Now again, it does not excuse the behavior, but instead of calling him that, then, instead of speaking that to him, because what we're doing is we're teaching them how to respond to, even authority. Mm-hmm. So if he don't feel comfortable, again, remember, it's not me condoning him having to lie to his mother, but one thing he would not do is lie to me, because I made sure, and I taught that, and I understood, hey man, look, I'm not here to punch you in your head, and I'm not here to judge your actions and what you did. These are mistakes that you made.
Yeah.
So I allowed him to make the mistake, but then be able to come to me so I can help you correct it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Again, but it wasn't me calling him a liar, because now what I did was I shut down the fact that he couldn't come to me. And what do children need, especially in this type of society that we live in? Because if they go to the wrong person, then what's going to happen is that person may influence him being a liar. Instead of being able to come to his parent, who is supposed to be able to guide them. So at the end of the day, it's like, you do not speak, a behavior into existence. You teach against it. You teach the error of it, and you correct it.
Right.
Because that's being present. And a lot of times what we do is, because we don't want to deal with the presence, we deal with the responsibility of a parent, but not the presence of a parent.
Yeah.
Those are two different things.
Yeah.
The responsibility of a parent takes care of the kid.
Yeah.
But he don't need to be provided for, because our source comes from God. He needs to be instructed. He needs to be taught, so that the experience don't take over the presence of the parent.
Right. Yeah. Man. Whew. Boy, you said a mouthful.
That's true.
And that goes back to, I'm going to say it, that goes back to the child support situation.
Yeah.
You have so many men who want to be there. Now, I'm like I said, I'm talking about those men. The ones that want to be there in their children's lives, but because of whatever's going on in the relationship, he can't be there. And the only thing the mother wants from him is child support. That child is missing out because that mother will not allow that relationship. And a lot of times, I've even heard this before. If he's not going to have a relationship with me, he ain't going to have a relationship with my child. He could just pay child support. Now, some men do need to pay for their children through the system, because they won't do it otherwise.
I disagree.
I understand.
I'm going to tell you why. And it's not, because again, first and foremost, as Christians. Now, if you're a Christian, we're not even supposed to go in front of an unjust God. We're not.
Judge.
You know what I mean?
Ungodly judge.
Ungodly judge. Sorry, I'm wrong. Thank you for the correction. But we're not supposed to do that. But when we do that, we take it out of the hands of God, because there is no man that does not want to be there for his child.
Well,
there is men that probably don't know how to be there. You know what I'm saying? Some fathers are fathering before they are truly ready to be a father. Some fathers are fathering at a very young age. Mentally, age is not a number.
Right.
Because you can be 30 and still be 10 years in your mind.
Right.
But the thing is, we have to this is why I tell people all the time, know who you're getting with. You got to know. You got to, even these behaviors that we're talking about today, they show it to you because situations bring upon these behaviors.
Yeah.
So you know if he getting an attitude with you, you know, that this behavior is being warranted for something. But what we still do is we still give ourselves to these people who are broken. So when it comes time to now it's too late. We done had a baby with this broken person, and we're expecting this broken person to understand what responsibility is. He can't even get to the point of responsibility because he's still dealing with his brokenness.
Yeah.
And we're expecting that person to be a parent. Then what we do is we put that broken person in a system that's not only doing nothing but making him more broken. Because now he's running from the system instead of understanding that, you know, okay, let's deal with his pain first. Let's you know what I'm saying? There's a reason and like I said, I don't warrant nobody not taking care of their kids, but again, we don't understand and do the work before we have kids with these people. It's just, you know, the feeling, oh, he did this or she did this. And that's what we look at.
Let's go back even further to the fact that parents need to prepare their children before they start dating.
Yes.
Kids are going to date. We know that.
Absolutely.
But you have not prepared your children for the healthy part of being in any kind of relationship. First, it starts with the relationship at home. If the father's not in the home already, you starting off a little bit without all the pieces. However, you can still teach a child how to be in a healthy relationship. And it's not coming from the place of, like you said, your brokenness. Yeah, don't never let a man do this, and don't never because children can't hear that when it's time for them to go out and be liked by a boy. If you know that your child is coming up on the age of dating, don't wait for them to get there and get in a relationship and have their nose wide open for somebody else, and then try to teach them what not to and what to do in a relationship. Teach them and prepare them early. We prepare for everything else. We prepare to learn how to drive. We prepare before we buy a house. We prepare before we get them in school. We go to the right school districts and buy a house and make sure everything else is good for our kids, but we don't prepare them for one of the most important things they'll ever do, and that's be in relationship. Yes. That's why so many kids are being born out of wedlock. First of all, teach them to put their chastity belts on and keep them on. Yeah. That may be taboo today because sex is everywhere, but we still need to, that doesn't mean we don't guard our kids and give them you give them the firm standard, because they gonna break it anyway, but at least they have something to reach back to when it's time and say, nah, I'm not gonna go that far because this is what I've been taught. We don't even teach them no more because we say in our head, oh, they gonna do it anyway. They gonna do it anyway. How about this one? Okay, I'm gonna let you go because I got you. Yeah, because I'm going to a whole nother one.
Let me go back to a couple of comments. Tony, we're talking with T. Man, we got to get with you. She said, and then talk about the dad in front of them and tell the kids he's no good. Let the kids have a relationship. Absolutely.
Right, because if you tell the kid they no good in front of the dad, when they start seeing the reflection of their dad in their own face, guess what they gonna say? I must not be any good either because my daddy ain't.
But the whole point is like, because you're upset. So only thing you're doing is you're allowing the kids to deal with you being angry with their father.
Right.
When they have nothing to do with why you're angry.
You can't even process why you're angry as an adult. And I hate when parents dump that onto the kid. That child can't even process it if you can't.
That's one thing.
It's too heavy for them to process.
Yes.
If you can't even figure out and it's making you crazy, why would you include your kids in y'all mess? Don't take their innocence away.
Yeah.
Give them time. Oh,
yes. Because she's snatching it from me today.
Jesus.
But yeah, y'all, you are speaking facts. Thank you, Patricia. That's a word. Prepare your child for dating.
Prepare them.
You know, we're living in a society, man, and let's be honest. And one thing we're not doing, this is why our presence is so important. we are living in a society where sex is selling everywhere. Sex is provocativeness is all over IG. It is so much on Facebook and internet. My wife really honestly think that this is on my feed, but it is a lot on my feed because this is what sells. It doesn't turn me on like that. I mean, I look because I'm a man, but it don't.
He said it don't turn me on when
But
his
I
eyes
look.
got like that. But I look.
But because you can't help it. It's
Right.
all every time you flip down, there's some sex. You know what I'm saying? And they're even some of these companies, they're promoting sex. They're promoting sex as a seller. So this is the trick. But because if the thing is, when we're busy going about our day, making sure the house is functioning and making sure the house is being provided for,
Yeah.
what we've done, because mind you, remember, we're gone half of the day. So our presence is not being warranted or felt in the home that the kid is having the opportunity to watch what's selling. This is what because if we don't have the conversation with them, even in our absence, we can't allow them to be driven by what's sold, because eventually, if we don't teach it, then that we're selling will be.
Learn.
They're gonna learn it, and this will be our kid.
We're watching. Learn today.
Yeah, half dressed and and selling themselves on especially these beautiful girls who are on here, and they are literally. I mean, porn is that. I don't even think that's selling anymore. You don't have to do it. It is all on IG.
Let me tell you another trick. This is another trick,
flag
y'all.
on the play. That's right, man.
This is another trick. Y'all, our kids don't know the difference between those fajas that they're selling on TV now. When our kids are on their own little social media and you see now a woman selling shapewear, and all you see is bra and panty and tatas, and the kids, that's their porn. That's sometimes a little boy passed by something. That's the first time he see a naked woman, and she's naked to him because he's innocent. And that's the trick. We don't think, because as adults we think, I like that. Oh, I'm finna get me one of those. But a kid looking at that and saying, "Oh snap!"
Yeah. But remember though. But again, I was trying to say this. My wife is really on it today. I was really trying to say this. The trick here is the presence and the absence. Because a lot of people who are selling this is really saying, I like the attention. I warrant the attention. I see this woman on here, and I'm not putting nobody on blast but I know on my wife think I probably look at this thing, but I don't.
Babe, you keep saying that. Somebody, you trying to convince yourself?
I'm not.
Because you don't have to convince me.
No, I'm just saying, like, there are women on there. There are women on there that be on there, and they just be like, literally just shaking just because they know they got robust, kabungas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
they shaking. This
okay, you did that already.
But the point is, it's like they're doing it for attention.
Like they are.
They're doing it for the likes. They're doing it for, And again, what's going on is because they're getting so many people who are following them.
You're right.
They're selling this, so they're getting two things at one time. Again, they're
getting their needs met.
Yes,
it's internal.
It's internal. I really thank you.
Oh, now you want to thank me?
I got to. I got to. But like Justina said, flag on the play.
Yeah.
Throw the flag. I mean, because this is only warranted, and this is why we got to be so careful, y'all. We I admire how fathers are teaching their sons their trades. You know what I'm saying? Because we're busying them, giving them something to really grow on, and to not be so idle-minded, because the Bible even said that idle minds is the devil's playground. So if they're sitting there with nothing to do, you know what I'm saying, especially if we're not really on top of what they're doing, and we come home and we still at work. Some of us work from home and we don't get off, and then we go back to work and we doing this, and some of us, because we've been at work all day, we need to get out, or we need to kind of unwind, and so we still don't even give the kids that shit, because life, we understand that life be life, But I mean, this is a responsibility. We got to be able to balance that time so that we don't lose our kids in the midst of us trying to live life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful, man,
Yeah.
because what they're doing is they're mimicking what they see. So if they're seeing you're busy, then what they're doing is here's a statement that my wife and I say all the time. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So if I see you're busy, your busy says you really not giving me the attention that I need. It's more important for you to be busy and to do what you're doing to make you not give me what I need as a regular human being. All human beings have this gene. We always talk about this, that there's a level of validation. There's a gene that says, I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I need to be heard. I need to be seen. I need to feel important. I need to feel validated. I need to feel like,
I need to feel.
Yeah, I need to feel this way. And I don't care who you are. Somewhere down in life, somewhere down the line, this is inside of you that you want to be seen. That what you say, somebody heard you. Somebody said, hey, you look nice today. Hey, what you said the other day was so important. And that goes a long way for certain people. That goes a long way. And when I'm not getting that because you're too busy, then what we do is we get it done, and we cope with it a whole nother way.
Yeah.
We cope with it a whole nother way. So let's be careful, y'all, of how we undergird our kids and how we undergird our children, and even the information that we get. So here's another thing. Some of us go through things, right? And we include our kids in what we go through. You know what I'm saying? If we get fired at the job, first of all, that's an adult issue. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I got to go and make another job, or I got to go find another job. One thing I did not do when I had my son with me, I had him every day, and I went through some life struggles. But one thing I did not do was involve him in my life struggles, because I wanted him to enjoy being a child.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to rob him from that and have to now deal with my emotions. Because guess what? When we're fired and we're telling our kids that, no matter how we think we're doing it, or whether we think we're educating them or not, what we're doing is we're giving them our emotions.
A level of insecurity.
We're giving them that fear. We're giving them that, man, I don't want to do, dang, if dad going through that and he can't handle that, I don't want to go through that. This is what they're watching. This is what they're seeing. So we got to be even very careful of the information that we share with them. So it's always a level of development. Because they still going to go through life and they still going to experience their process. But at the end of the day, don't allow them to experience their process unprepared.
Right. Right.
Don't allow them to experience that process emotionally.
Right.
Don't allow them to experience that process mad.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But because, again, remember this, as a child, you don't have the same emotions that I should have.
You don't even have the same mentality.
You don't even have the same mentality.
Understanding that I have as a child.
Exactly.
You don't have it.
You don't have it.
You don't have it.
You don't have it.
And when I tell you adult stuff as a child, emotions get stirred up. Stuff that wasn't even in me now is in me. Now I'm feeling insecure. Now I'm feeling unprotected. Now I'm feeling afraid as a child. And then you grow up learning how to just deal with it.
Justina said, you can change your algorithm, sir. I don't know how to do it, Justina.
Justina, girl, help him. Because none of that stuff come across my feed. My phone don't know if I'm a male or a female.
Yes, it do.
No.
I don't be on your feed,
No.
so I wouldn't know that.
Well, I don't be on yours either. And a lot of stuff I just found out tonight.
What? That's not true, because she be looking at me. What you looking at? I'm scrolling. I can't. Look,
yeah.
I'm scrolling. Mm-hmm. I'm scrolling, and it be on there.
Listen, yes, you are going to get certain things on your algorithm. Yes. But it comes from the fact that something inside your phone says, oh, he likes this kind of stuff. Let me give him more. So don't play with me.
No.
Don't play with me.
No, that isn't.
Don't play with
these
me.
phones, that's why they call smartphones.
Because I like looking up at First 48. I like looking at crime, like true crime and stuff like that.
I don't like looking at crime.
That's why it's not on your feed. It's on mine.
You be looking at killing people.
whatever, but it gives me options. Now it's actually bringing more stuff to my page. It's not on your page, sir, because that's not something you're interested in.
Oh, wait a minute, Justina. She
Yes.
said, I got you. Mine either. I don't know. I don't see y'all phone. Tony, you agree with me?
No, Tony does not.
Listen, Patricia, come on, we are women.
We're gonna have to help him understand that as women, you don't have to let us go to school to be a detective. We don't have to go to school to be anything that causes us to understand things.
So wait a minute.
We
you
understand.
mean to tell me your profile, which shows up on the algorithm, it knows that you are a man, right? Am I right or wrong?
Whatever.
It's gonna show you. It ain't gonna put a bunch of men on it because I ain't looking at that. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
I'm sorry. I'm just not looking at that. No.
Because it's not coming across your feed, sir, because you don't like dudes. Thank you, Jesus.
But you saying what I'm saying.
No, you saying what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the reason why them women come across your feed like that is because either you looked up something.
I didn't look it up. I may have on the scroll stopped a little bit and then scrolled some more. But
And that little bit of a C helped the algorithm say, oh, let's keep giving him more.
And it's the same. And you stop on one, and they all doing that, and like everybody, everybody
Don't do that no more. Oh, we're not doing. Stop. That's disrespect to women.
I can't tell. Really?
That's disrespect. Don't do that. Children are watching.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
But listen.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you. Dad, thank you.
I'm gonna call
all the
you
women
later.
don't agree with me, but my dad does.
Of
He
course.
understands.
Dad, I love you.
I'm sure they all. I promise you, my dad will tell you the same thing. They coming down his feed too as he scrolling. Ooh, what? Wait, hold.
Exactly.
Scroll
That
again.
part right there. That part. Ooh, whoa. I'm not saying as a man, I know when you see it, if it don't look good to you, I'm concerned.
Justina,
okay?
wait a minute. She said abort the mission, friend.
Thank you, Justina. Girl. We
She
supposed
said,
to be talking
wait a
about
minute,
the
Tony,
children anyway.
Tony don't agree with me either. She said sis is correct. Sorry, Pastor.
We're supposed to be
Lord
talking about
Jesus.
the children anyway.
We are talking about the
So
children.
at the end of the day, y'all listen. Children are watching
Thank
to
y'all.
see what to do today. They're listening to hear what to do tomorrow.
Yes.
So if your children are watching you, be careful what they're watching.
Say that again.
They hear what you have to say. Y'all, that stuff that you're telling them, they're listening even though it don't seem like it, but they're going to use that for tomorrow. That's not an immediate gratification type of situation.
Come on here. I
They
like
are
that.
watching to see what they supposed to do today.
Now.
Tomorrow, they going to hear what you say. Bars.
And with that being said, we're going to close on that note.
Yes, we are. And we're going to talk about the algorithm in the car.
But listen, y'all. Dope show tonight. Great show. Listen, y'all. This Sunday marks our first Sunday starting our Shift City Church. Man, for those of you who can't be there, man, we would love for you guys to just help out, any way that you can. By supporting, sending somebody, telling them about
How
it.
about some prayers?
Some prayers. Oh yeah, definitely.
Because the enemy been fighting us trying to start ministry in this way for so long. I've seen the fight firsthand, and we need prayer. We need people to just constantly be in prayer.
Absolutely.
That we will do what God says do, not what people want to see or what people think we should do. Because sometimes that's a part of our upbringing too. We want that what do you call it? We want that validation sometimes, and we get it from people. But Shift City Church is going to be a church where we shift the mentality according to the word of God and what God says.
Amen. And tomorrow, y'all, if y'all not busy, y'all tune back in with us tomorrow with Man Talking the Man Cave. And
with Big Lou,
Stoney
J,
and myself, Pastor J. So listen, y'all, and the tomorrow's topic is, I'm trying to be the father I didn't have.
Oof.
Whoa, deep. So that's tomorrow's conversation, y'all. So if y'all want to tune in, same bat channel, same time. But we love y'all, man. Listen, y'all. But listen, we out, y'all. Come to. Oh, listen, y'all. We got some good news that's coming up.
How many closes you gonna do?
We got some good news, so y'all stay tuned, man. Man, we've been posting a lot more, and we've been doing a lot more, and we got some good news coming up. So y'all stay. We can't give it to you now. Yeah, we're gonna tell you.
Do I know?
No. Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tony. Tony, this week, man, we want you to come through Sunday if you can be there, so we can talk about the food and stuff like that.
All right, listen.
All right, we love y'all. I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And I'm your girl, Lady Free. And until next time, just remember to share Shift Real Talk TV.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.